guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Roxy Rose, and if you are new here, please don't forget to press that subscribe button down below and give this a big thumbs up. If you are returning, welcome back Rose family. Okay, so guys, today's video I am actually going to be talking to you guys about some movies and shows that include like adopted children or foster care children. I really like watching movies and shows like this because a fun fact about me, if you didn't know, I was a foster care child. I was in the foster system. I lived with a Caucasian family. I got lucky. I was with a good family who treated me good. I was with them for 2 years before I was 5, and then the rest of my life I was on and off from living with my aunts and family members to my mom. So if this is something you would like to know more about me, comment down below and I can let you guys know about why I was in the foster system and yeah, and why I lived with my aunts. So let's get into the video. The first show that I wanted to talk to you about was Sister. It is now on Netflix, guys. So I put this on the list because in the beginning of the show, the twins Tia and Tamera were adopted by 2 different parents, and they did not know that they had a twin. The adoption agency did not say anything, and just by chance they went shopping and met in the mall. So I really like this show. It's family oriented and I grew up on this show, and I'm so happy that it is back on Netflix. Well, it's on Netflix. So if you guys want to watch it with your kids or you never seen the show, just check it out. Like a real 90s show. Next show is The Foster Family. So The Foster Family, it's a lesbian couple who is married. One of the wives has a son from previous marriage to a police officer, and they actually adopted 2 siblings. They took them in as foster children at first and later on adopted them. This show goes around the drama and what they've been through in this foster system from previous families, and then it goes through the drama of them trying to integrate into this new family. It's a family oriented. I really like the show. You can just go and see it on yourself. This is also on Netflix. I hope it's still on Netflix, but yeah, so I seen it on Netflix. So that's The Foster Family. And there is some parts, I don't want to spoil the show for you, but even the son has to try to adjust to having new siblings but he also has a crush on the girl. So it gets interesting. The next one is This Is Us. This Is Us always makes me cry. So first, I brought this one in because the mother was pregnant with triplets and lost one. And by chance, someone brought a little baby who was Randall, black boy, to the hospital, and they were just side by side, and they decided to adopt Randall as their triplet, as their big 3. And then later on, when Randall became an adult and had his own family, he decided to adopt a teen who is Deja. You get to see Deja, how she gets to integrate into the family. Although she already had a life of her own before, she tries to adjust while they also adjust as well to her and her situation. And then later on in This Is Us, the sister Kate decides to adopt a sibling for her son because it's hard for her to get pregnant. And if you didn't reach that far, I'm so sorry. Spoiler alert. The next one is Lee Daniels' Star. The sisters, well, their mom died, and they were put in foster care, but they were split up, unfortunately. One of the sisters in foster care had a very bad experience. So unfortunately, foster care system is not perfect, as you may sometimes see. Sometimes you're lucky and sometimes you're not. So in that case, they weren't lucky. They kept getting bad homes and getting abused sexually, you know, and verbally. So the sisters finally meet up again with each other and actually go to their mom's friend's house, and who is Carlotta, and Carlotta actually takes them in just like their own, because the mom was her best friend, you know. It's a musical show. It's really good. It has some drama. I really love that show. I'm so sad that they couldn't proceed with it. The next show is Anne of Green Gables. So this is also on Netflix. I think there's a new season coming out next year. So Anne of Green Gables, yeah, I think it's a Canadian show. It's been around a long time. They just made it into a newer version. So the newer version is on Netflix. So basically, this brother and sister, they have a farm, they own a house, and they wanted a child to help with the chores around the farm, but they wanted a boy. So when they sent the information, because back in the day it was not by phone, it was by mail, the orphanage actually chose Anne to go. And when they got her, they realized it's a girl. So Anne is very inquisitive. She likes to talk, you know, and they were going to send her back, but Anne grew on them and they decided to keep her. I really like Anne of Green Gables. It does talk about, like, the last season was just talking about how the natives were mistreated, and I really like that. And it just goes to show sometimes you want a boy in life and God knows what to give you, you know. And Anne still did things. She said, I'm capable to help out on the farm just like a boy. The next one is Annie. So Annie, whether the classic one or the newer version, I grew up watching the older version, but it's about an orphan who was mistreated in her orphanage home, and she just kept faith and singing. So she kept faith and singing and believing, and yeah, and then finally she meets up with a rich man who decides to adopt her. At first he's cold, but then he warms up to her. The next one is The Blind Side. So The Blind Side is based on a true story. It's about a boy who was basically, he didn't really know much, was failing, like his grades were down, he didn't have a place to stay, he was always in the park. And then a family, like the coach's family, took him in because he was good at sports. He basically made the team, the football team, and now he's a big football player in real life. So they adopted him as his own, and he was really appreciative. I don't want to say too much if you have not seen that movie, but it's on Netflix, The Blind Side, and it's based on a real story. So the next one is Matilda. So Matilda, I put this, it is a classic, and I put this one because the teacher who Matilda fell in love with was adopted by her aunt. Well, if you've seen Matilda, you know that the aunt actually had a part to play in the dad's death. The daughter grew up with the aunt. And then in the end of Matilda, the father of Matilda was into like crime. So they were on the run, and they tried to pick up Matilda, and she says, I don't want to go. She says, adopt me. So she tells her teacher to adopt her, and she already had the papers, and that's where she was adopted from the teacher. So Matilda is on Netflix still. I believe it's still on Netflix. It's really a classic good movie if you have not seen it. So that's a family movie. Watch it with your family and kids. The Little Princess. Okay guys, this is one of my favorite movies as a kid. I put this because the little princess, her dad had to go to serve for the country, and her mom was already passed. Now when he went off to war, it was claimed that he was dead. So when both parents are dead and you're in a school like that, they mistreated those children, and they didn't really get the same education, so they had to clean. They basically looked dirty, had to wear rags. She couldn't even keep her clothes or anything, and she was stuck in a room with a black girl who was also an orphan. Later to come find out that the dad was not dead, and she had to try to remind the dad, like, oh, it's me. Then finally he came to his senses and basically remembered the daughter. I guess he had a concussion. And in the end, even though the little princess was not an orphan, they actually adopted the other friend, the girl who was an orphan, the black girl. And I really love that movie. So the next one, which is number 10, is Mowgli. Mowgli is on, I believe it's on the Disney Channel and on Netflix. So the newer version. I really like this because growing up you always hear about the story of like this, you know, where he's in the jungle, he's left in the jungle, and the wolves have to take him in as his family. I know it's not an adopted story of humans, but he basically was adopted into the jungle world, and they accepted him instead of eating him. If you want to see a family movie, it is also a musical, and I used to have the books, so I really like that movie. So watch it with your kids and family if you wish. That is the 10 options about fostering and adopting movies and shows. If you already watched these, comment down below which shows and movies you liked. If you have any more suggestions about foster care and adoption videos or movies, comment down below. I would really appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for joining me. Remember to give this a big thumbs up, like it, comment down below, share with a friend, and subscribe. And remember, when life pricks you with thorns, go and search and smell for them roses. Bye, ciao, adios, au revoir, see ya later, bye.